What is it like to find out my girlfriend cheated on me? Answering anonymously to protect the guilty. There was once a girl whom I had proposed to. I was in the early days of my startup. We were dating for a few years and I felt that even though things were tough, she stood by me and was the one. Scraped some money to have a ring made. It wasn't fancy like all her friends, who dated bankers and lawyers, had, but it was unique and suited her personality. Assembling a ring from the rock to the design/construction is cheaper than buying from the stores. She accepted the proposal and we were happy. That lasted for less than 6 months. She was promoted at work and was undergoing a fair amount of stress. I was in the midst of expanding the startup and was struggling with the workload. We didn't see each other much, but I established a protocol that I would not work weekends to make up for the lack of time spent together. A week after my birthday, I fell sick because I was overworked. Her colleague from out of country was in town for work and she asked if they could hang out. Being the trusting guy that I was, I said sure, why not? I knew they got along well, and being a hospitable person, I would like my friends to host me if I were to visit their countries. They hung out for that weekend and I was glad I could be productive doing my work. Couple of weeks after, I arranged for some special date nights, to take the pressure of us as we had started planning for the wedding later in the year. She was going for gown fittings, while I sorted out the logistics and guest lists for the big day. I thought we made a good team and never once had I any inkling of what was to happen next. Friends were excited for us, everyone buzzed in to help out with the planning, and I thought, wow, I'm finally getting hitched. April is indeed the cruelest month. That fateful night, I popped by her place to spend some time with her, dropped all my work and was generally excited to see her after a long week. She was stuck at work and returned only very late. From the apartment, I saw her alighting the taxi, but she never came up. Concerned, I went down to find her on the phone, visibly upset and drunk. As I approached, she quickly cut the line off, but I could see that it was the colleague from overseas on the line. Thinking that it was work-related, I left it at that and tried to console a very emotionally upset drunk. She had to work late, there was a bottle of wine at the workplace and she finished it. After some cajoling, I tucked her into bed. I took her phone to charge and then I noticed that the colleague had tried to call back 3 times and sent some messages. Then, this dread of suspicion fell over me. My gut said something was wrong and I had to find out. I had to use Exp to look at the messages her colleague had been sending her. That moment, my heart sank. My gut wrenched, I couldn't breathe. I was upset, but I needed truth. So I sat down on the floor and read the history. I spent at least an hour going through 3 to 4 months of messages where they had sent messages expressing each other's love, cheeky messages, pictures, the same ones she had sent me in the mornings, discussions on books, everything that one would talk about if one was in a relationship, and like how we were in our early dating days. I was in denial. I was upset. I was angry. All the emotions rolled up in one ugly mess. I decided that she had absolutely betrayed my trust and I had to go. Wrote some notes, sent her a message saying that I knew and was disappointed, took my stuff and walked out the door. Google Maps said it was 16 kilometers by foot home, so I started walking. I stopped by the gas station to buy a pack of cigarettes. I had quit smoking. I was absolutely livid. The brain was trying to deduce a logical reason for this, looking for signs in the memory bank, and I honestly felt like punching something really bad. The exquisite sense of betrayal was an experience that I had never encountered before in my life, and it felt absolutely heart-wrenching bad. To know that the one you loved, the one whom you were almost going to spend your life with, was hiding a secret, it was absolutely horrendous. I got home after 3 hours of walking, copped out and took the first train in the morning, and my mind still reeled with doubts and questions. She called when she woke up, obviously upset and knew that she was wrong. I broke up with her on the spot and told her she had to explain the situation to all our close church friends. I didn't sleep for 3 nights. We stopped talking, she felt bad and tried to reconnect, but I was resolute in cutting her out. I got drunk, I smoked more cigarettes, I poured all my time into work and I downloaded Tinder. Didn't hook up with anyone though because I just felt so damaged and could not bring myself to disrespect another human being. Even though the relationship she had was miles away, I felt that the cheating was a giant red flag that I should have seen coming. I beat myself up for quite a while, questioned my own beliefs and wondered about human nature. Yet amidst our busyness, I had assumed that things were going fine. I neglected her emotional needs and I was too focused on the many objectives that we had to achieve. There were many issues that we had not worked out, but to me, I figured that all couples would take time to come to terms with their issues. I emerged from a few months of decadent living and poured all my energy into building myself into a better person. My business picked up, I hit the gym and lost some weight I had gained while trying to grow the startup. I made new friends, rekindled old friendships, those that I had neglected because I didn't have time for them, and loved people around me even more. While the experience hurt, it taught me many valuable lessons in life and relationships. I still have faith that someday I would find that special someone. Relationships are tough, but the experiences we gained made us into who we are today. I am thankful for the pain because it has made me a better person, made me know and understand that betrayal hurts, and I would never have someone I loved go through that. Story 2. Caught GF cheating red-handed, 24. Me and my girlfriend dated for almost 6 years, including 3 years together and 2 years in a long-distance relationship. Last year, when we were in a long-distance relationship, she started behaving differently, and suddenly one day she planned to break up with me out of the blue. She said that her parents caught her with me, and they don't like me and don't want her to marry me. I tried to convince her that it would work out, especially since we were planning to go together for our master's degree in the UK. I somehow convinced her, yet I could see that she was trying to end this relationship in any way possible, making it difficult for me to understand what's happening, especially in the long distance. I kept on asking her what the matter was and suggested that we solve it like adults. I even asked her if she liked someone else, and she always said no. She started treating me disrespectfully and used to cry on video call that Mom-Dad won't agree for this relationship and there is no future, convincing me that her Mom-Dad really hated me. Yet I tried to be positive, as in 6 months we were going to the UK together and I hoped that things would be normal once she is away from her family. We landed in the UK after 6 months, and after that whenever I tried to get close to her, she was hesitant and would tell me she's feeling guilty as her Mom-Dad won't like this after 6 years. I gave her all the attention and love and she finally became normal again and we started behaving normal again. She disrespected me in front of others sometimes but used to apologize to me in private. I was happy as we spent all day together and slept together. The only time I used to be away from her was when her family video called her. After 8 months of us being together, she flew back to the country to meet her parents, and when she went there, she started behaving strange again. She started saying that her mom knows that we live together and Mom was unhappy about it. So she wanted to break up again. She sent me a long message and broke up with me for 10 days, blocking me on every social media. After 10 days when she returned, we solved this and she patched up with me again. But one day her roommate felt bad for me and she came and told me that she's been cheating on with me over a year now and she loves someone else. She's just using me to get all the love and attention. I was devastated as I trusted her. When I confronted her, she started putting allegations on me that I forced her to stay in this relationship and I was forcefully being physical with her, which devastated me. She threatened to call police and file a case against me and said that she was afraid of me. I managed to have a conversation with the other guy and even he was in a shock that she was still dating me all this time. But she somehow manipulated him and they are in relationship again. I am in disbelief right now. It's been 2 months since the breakup, but it still makes me angry. The saddest part is that the guy she is dating is poor and dumb. He was just another guy who flirted with her and she liked it and went and effed him. She has lost all her friends in the UK and as well as all our mutual friends, and no one trusts her anymore. I couldn't understand how can someone be willing to lose everything just to get some pleasure. Story 3. Can a woman have chlamydia for 12 years and not know? My wife and I were married/together for 12 years before we decided to have children. She had trouble getting pregnant. They tested me, and I had a very high sperm count, all healthy. They found she had endometriosis. The drive also did a STD screen and found she had chlamydia. My wife told me the STD screening was standard procedure and that she must have contracted it before we even dated. She said she had it once before when she was single and it must have come back, or she had gotten it again, while single. I trusted her at the time because I loved her, thought she had strong character, and would never cheat. Plus, I didn't have the internet resources available today. This was 25 years ago. I was not tested, but we were both given prescriptions for antibiotics and then tested afterward. We were both clean afterward. We've now been divorced for 14 years. Looking back on it, the only red flag I picked up on was that she assumed 100% that she had given it to me. She never asked me anything about me giving it to her. I was certainly no virgin when we married. I hadn't thought about it for years until my daughter started talking about getting pregnant. She's 24 and married now. So, Dr.S and nurses of Reddit, is it medically possible that my ex was telling the truth? And as for the rest of the peanut gallery, no, now I seriously doubt she was faithful, but I never had any proof. I'm just wondering if this is actual proof.